well. So thank you guys so much for listening here. Got to give a shout out to Sam doing double duty here today, and we'll see you guys shortly.
I'm back! And we are better than ever, other than my PC, which may or may not be in the worst stage of its life. But I am back alongside Neptune to bring you all the winners semifinals here of Low Ink November 2025. Neptune, let's look at these teams.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at these teams right here, well, there's some fun going on here with these names, which I gotta appreciate. That comes up with Low Ink. Just some beautiful team names right here. We'll come up with a name later. Clearly, they did not pass the vibe check with that one, but you know what? I gotta respect it. And then we have I'm old, but old. So, you know what? Gotta put some respect right here. This is gonna be a nail biter of a set right here. Basically, seed 7 and 6 duking it out right here to find their way forward. And if the last game or the last set that was going on right there showed that close seeds will provide some close matches, we'll definitely be able to see that right here, right now, DRF.
I love that you once again skirted around the numbers that are in play here, as folks have indicated in the chat. Seed 7 and Seed 6. We will say it in that order and in no other order at this time.
All right, chat. You know what? I'm gonna give you what you want. Seed 6 and 7.
I could hear you slowly dying as you try to get that out into the universe. You know what? I respect it. I think the folks, the Zoomers of our chat will appreciate you for it. You know, hopefully this is a meme that dies sooner rather than later.
You know what? Things will die faster. Like Splatoon. I'm trying to come up with a transition right here.
It'll die as fast as my PC is. We'll put it like that.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what was going on.
This thing is cooked. Yeah, we literally tried to reset it, would not boot into Windows, so I booted back up into Linux, because I was like, oh, you know, maybe for some reason Linux is being funny. So I tried booting into Windows. No, Windows just didn't want to open at all, and I tried like 3 times. I was like, oh, okay, this is not a good sign. I was like, you know what, that was my indicator that maybe, just maybe, if I plug my mic into something else, it'll work. And lo and behold, we are here now, and we are back on the mic, and we're about to commentate some Splatoon's Umami Ruins.
Yeah, Splatoon's Umami Ruins. So here's my hot take, DRF. I think Umami is one of the most interesting map modes from a Splatoon's perspective, because oftentimes when you see players play Splat Zones, they often have a reef slider. We saw red ringers on both sides on the enemy team coming out. So now with 2 zones, that reef slider is only really able to cap one. You still need to cap the other. And the dual zone dynamic here always makes some interesting Splatoon to watch. What stands out to you with these comps?
The fact that we actually have roller versus roller gameplay. We've got the crack on coming out from Mocha from I'm Cold, and the vanilla on the side of We'll Come With a Name Later. So that is the thing that immediately stands out, as these 2 teams are going to be quickly clashing in mid. That's going to be 3 down on the side of I'm Cold, 2 down on the side of We'll Come Up With a Name Later. So it's going to be the numbers advantage that gets it for Name Later though.
Yeah, for sure. And I love this grab tank right here. Using the grab ground to its maximum advantage to try and pick off some players right here. But it seems like it's not good. No, never mind. It does able to find the 10 umbrella right there. So now the roller is left all alone trying to find a way to break back into mid. But hey, Mocha still finds a way to go forward with the crab coming out from blue here as well. It's going to be a little bit of a dicey situation as both these teams trade special for special. But that zone still is in neutral right now.
Will Come With a Name Later, doing a fantastic job, but it's Mocha with the double, and Caramel gonna find one of their own. That's gonna get them their first possession of the zone, and now the Zuka coming out, not able to find the charger as I think they were hoping for, and now it's going to be I'm Cold looking for the lead, just a minute and a half into this one, and it is already a back and forth game.
Yeah, for sure. The lead does swap, but not for long as the strikes get invested on the zone to go down for I'm Cold here as well. And they're looking for a way to get their roller in as far as they can. A little bit of a dicey situation. Roller on roller fighting each other and fling and a miss right there. Oh my goodness, dear. Oh, he's even in these higher stages of the bracket, there's still a little bit of leeway on what mistakes you can make here. And that's going to allow, we'll come up with a name later, set up and potentially swap the lead here.
Yeah, they decided they'll also come up with the pick later, as both of the rollers did, you know, kind of just swing and miss as you had mentioned. A little bit of comedy there, but nonetheless, it's going to once again be a hotly contested zone, as Will Come With A Name later says we are not going to wait any longer to lock this one out, and they are in position, Neptune. 20 ticks remaining on the scoreboard, and they're going to try to ride this one out as 2 more go down. This should be it for this game.
Yeah, for sure. A booyah to just essentially say GG's. We're not playing tower control, gang, but you know what? You gotta send a message somehow, someday. We'll come up with a name later. Taking up game 1. The crucial moments in that game just were the roller being able to find a way forward and set up their other weapons on top of that dome area. That dome allows so much ways to be able to prevent the enemy from being able to go forward right there as well. And already, it seems like we have our counter pick right here, a frame 1 counter pick, DRF. You know what that tells me?
What does that tell you?
That tells me that they are confident in this counter pick right here, and being confident in your own counter picks is another game, or like I guess another macro game that teams need to get ready to master to be able to shut down opponents and be very comfortable and play the game they know best.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think that there's 2 takeaways here from just one being so, with being so ready with their counter pick, and that's one, more teams need to be like you, I'm Cold, because teams take way too long to get their darn counter picks in. Like, I'm gonna commend you for this, because not many teams are in frame 1 ready to go with a counter pick, and 2, exactly what you said, Neptune. This is sort of a reset map mode that they immediately knew, all right, we end up getting knocked out and locked out of this one. Rainmaker Humpback. That is the team mental reset. They have that designated and ready to go. And this could be, you know, I love when teams make counter picks so quickly, because it is just so much confidence coming out of them. And it could be an opportunity for them to completely flip this set back in their favor.
Yeah, for sure. And something I'm looking forward to seeing are Tenebrella and Roller. And it's very strange. Like, I don't often see the Tenebrella, no less a Roller, right, individually, but seeing them paired together, like, I think I heard someone right here, quote me, actually, wait, if someone's watching this and can quote me on who it is, they basically said, if any 2 weapons could have basically a marital status on how well they play off each other, it's going to be a V-Roller as well as a Tenebrella here, but we're going to be opting for the Crack-On Roller. The teams are ready to rock and roll. Let's see how this plays out, DRF.
Let's jump right into it, as we are seeing that combo comeback, and diving in here. These teams going to be contesting mid early on, and it's going to be Will Come With A Name later that's going to keep control of mid, as I'm Cold playing a little bit slower out of the gates.
Yeah, for sure. They have a little bit more of a slower weapon that they need to set up right here, but they do use the edit to try and juice them up as immediately as possible and contest mid here as well. It's going to be a bit of a struggle bus to be able to push up here, because that Tenebrella swapped off the Sorella variant and now on the vanilla one to opt for a back here as well. So we're going to be seeing the back that comes out on Rainmaker's special here. Same like just be able to give opportunities to push it forward here as well. But it already looks like we'll come up with a name later. Already has the answer to this comp.
Yeah, it certainly seems like that they might, as it's going to be Will Come With Name later, 1 down on either side. Both teams just still kind of hovering, trying to make a move here. Will Come With Name later, finally going to just push forward. That bubble coming up huge to get the checkpoint, plus the jump out makes this a solid just 1 checkpoint push. They're going to go ahead and retreat just a little bit, try to hold position.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of a retreat right there to be able to stabilize there as well. It's going to be oh so crucial, but the back is online. There is teammates barreling towards the checkpoint right here in the rain. A free dunk, but hey, gonna cost you your life as well as 3 other members here. I don't know if that was worth it, DRF.
I mean, it seems like both teams really were just focused on trying to clear the checkpoint, and I guess that's what, you know, they both got that out of here, so it's effectively a tied game at this stage. The score is certainly not going to stand for both of these teams, I think, but Will Come With A Name Later is the one that's going to be making their mark early after this checkpoint. 3 down. It's going to come down to the heavy edit. The heavy edit finally gets the pick, but it went down to 10 points remaining. So 3 down, but that one was definitely worth it, Neptune.
Oh yeah, for sure. You swing that Rainmaker when you see 3 down, you catch out the roller that was sharking. That S-Blast doing a wonderful job scoping that out and allowing that Rainmaker to run all the way down to 10 points right there. But wow, the S-Blast shooting down that Rainmaker and potentially getting another pick right there. Wow, just really convincing gameplay coming out from Will Come Up With A Name Later right now.
Dazuka retaliating, able to find one, not able to find a second, guarding this elbow, trying to get back into the game here. I'm Cold, trying to get hot quickly, and now with 2 down, the 10th moving forward as well. And it's going to be a whole team effort to dive this Rainmaker, but 2 members go down, and the 3rd member is going to go with them. Mocha, the last one standing, going to retreat back into mid, but is met by the Splash, who's going to cut them off. And now it's closely contested once again, but Will Come With A Name Later now has 2 minutes to try to stall this one out.
Yeah, 2 whole minutes is not a lot of time, but you make the most of your time right now, which is going to be very difficult with 2 members immediately getting spot. It seems like We'll Come Up With A Name Later is looking for a way to push their lead even further and potentially get a knockout here as well. Members are traded left and right and center, and now it's just the Rainmaker all alone right here. Chamomile immediately getting that slap and that splat right there and being able to move up right now in this choke point right here, but oh, S-Blast moment.
S-Blast moment indeed, as it is going to be I'm Cold picking up the Rainmaker once again, but they have 2 members down. Now the Trip Strikes coming out, pushing Syrup back into a corner, trying to rotate this to the right here. They're going to be able to do just that, but no, the leader comes up big, plus the jump out. What a play there by Astral.
Oh my goodness. Astral, I've faced them a couple of times this game, and they are certainly a strong charger as well. Just being able to hit the shots, recognize when they need to get out, and just, that is exactly demonstrated right there. This is what good chargers do. They constantly put so much pressure up front that there's not a lot of things you can do, and then by the time you get to them, they're already repositioned or jumped out. But you can definitely see I'm Cold trying to come up with something right here, getting 1 pick, looking for another, not quite. It's going to be a difficult situation to navigate here as this roller looks for more.
It's going to be the tent ready with their vac, as they're going to actually be the one to pick up the Rainmaker. Why were they the one that picked up the Rainmaker? Oh, that was going to be their key to making this push. Now they're going to have to get a little bit creative, and they do find 3 picks. They got a delayed wipe. It's going to come down to the roller. The roller finds 2. The Blaster making a move is able to cut them off. And that is going to be Will Come With A Name Later, holding on late in this one. Holy smokes, Neptune.
My heart like beated 6 times faster in 6 different instances during that last push right there. Just looking at that situation, it looked a little bit desperate because you called it out right there. I was raising like 3 eyebrows wondering why the tent decided to opt for the vac. They had the vac right there and they decided to pick it up so that they couldn't have access to it. But it's because so the other members can play off with their specials and their main weapons right there to be able to push up as well. It's just unfortunately just a little bit of a panic, a little bit of a desperation right there. There just wasn't enough space or time to be able to swap the lead right there, as unfortunately We'll Come Up With A Name Later had such a good push up to 10 that basically just was too big of a mountain to climb there, DRF.
It certainly was, as they got a great push there all the way down to 10 remaining. They paid a lot to get to that point, but it was just the right price, as it's the lead that ultimately held, despite the scare at the very end from I'm Cold. Sometimes those inches that you get at the very end of your push really make the difference, and it did for Will Come With The Name Later, as now I'm Cold looks towards the reverse sweep as their means of entering winners finals, and that is going to have to get started on tower control ship shape to try to slow down the momentum from Will Come With The Name Later.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very curious why they opted for ship shape, no less tower control, because speaking with a bunch of 10 umbrella players, right, they often don't opt for the 10 umbrella on this map mode, as typically blasters get played pretty commonly and being able to shoot around the 10 umbrella shield, but that was demonstrated during that Rainmaker Humpback game, and it becomes even more difficult to play around given ship shape structure, the ledges, and just the general map geometry as well. So I'm curious to see, we might see a weapon swap right here, but we might just see a 10 umbrella stick to their 10 umbrella guns and try and play it out here, DRF.
Certainly. We did see the tent roller combo in that round 1 set, and if I'm not mistaken, before my mic literally died, I believe that the team that ran the tent roller combo ended up winning on tower ship shape.
Yes, you are correct. That it was Reef Runners coming out from the heavens right there, just swinging and just getting so much value from setting up their roller as well. Again, I think V-Roller is one of those weapons that needs to be put a little bit more respect out there. It's got a really good one-shot. A bubble getting set up inside of it, you have to respect it as well. And it can often just run away with the game if it gets set up properly. And that's the crucial big point I want to bring home here, is if it sets up. And if the team's going to be able to support the roller to be able to make those plays, DRF.
Well, that is certainly the question that we will have to answer going into game number 3, assuming that that's the composition that sticks around here. Taking a look, as we missed just the opening seconds here, but it is going to be a pretty massive adjustment from I'm Cold. Both teams making a few different adjustments though, nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. Trading out your Brella, I believe, for an S-Blast right here. You know, I respect it. I've seen Shadow swap off a 10 on tower control, so following the top player's footsteps as well is going to be the name of the game right here. And looking for ways to push this first checkpoint, but an unfortunate Splat Bomb is going to cause Will Come Up With A Name Later to potentially stagger here, DRF.
Oh, and this is a massive wipe. Save the first checkpoint, start pushing up. Everybody's in position to try to make a play here, as I'm Cold should be able to get to this first checkpoint and make a play, as Will Come With A Name Later quickly trying to get their specials ready. Don't they have the first one with the crab, but now they need to see if they can get the S-Blast and the Charger to get their specials up as well.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like we clicked a lot of our specials just very early right there, and it seems like Will Come Up With A Name later recognized that, waited them out, and start striking with their own right there. Starting with this Crab Tank here. Mayhem looking to close out this fight with the S-Blast, but the name is in the there. You will swing it, and you will get that blaster kill, and often win those interactions, especially if you're Camera here, who's just dancing around the pencil shots as well. Getting a pick to go, getting another one. Okay, this gun cheats, DRF.
I don't know how they managed to get away with 2 picks there, especially with just how limited their ink was to work with. As now Mocha gonna be able to find one, but gets caught out in a little bit of danger. And now it's going to be Morrow that's going to find a nice pick there with the roller. It's I'm Cold, though, that's all the way down to 38 points remaining. This push should be dead in the water, as everybody backing up for now, but the roller from Mocha able to find 2 to keep this tower forward, and that is such a massive play, because now they're in position to quickly pick up this tower where they had left off. So they're going to continue to hold this neutral ground right in the middle, but it's always so important to keep the tower in an aggressive position if you can do so. And they're doing just that, despite the tower now reeling back to its starting point. It's allowed I'm Cold to maintain this aggressive position that they're in now.
Yeah, for sure. Mocha coming up big right here. Oh my goodness, getting splatted through that Kraken right there. Mocha's been putting in a lot of work right there, and I think we'll come up with a name later, has recognized like, hey, this roller needs to go right there, and immediately responded by picking them off right now. But the biggest issue right now is going to be this Pencil getting 2 crucial picks right now and riding this tower right here. The passive special charge from this tower is going to allow the other users to get a lot of their specials ready. We see the Kraken come out, we see the strikes come out as well. Overly invested to try and slay out every member here to try and get the second checkpoint here, DRF.
3 members down. It's a stagger from Will Come With a Name Later, and I'm Cold has now entered the oh no zone. They should be able to ride this one out. It looks like they had someone from Will Come With a Name Later dive the tower, but was not successful in completely stalling this push. But now, still in love, able to move up. Gonna get shut down by the trip strikes. Bree back on the tower, trying to knock this one out. The roller once again coming in from the top row, but that's a wipeout!
Oh my goodness, a wipe out, and right here, when the tower is moving right here, that might as well be the dagger for, we'll come up with a name later, as I'm Cold, rolling with the momentum that they got from their own roller, as well as their own specials, as well as the other members right there, beautifully synergizing with each other to knock it out all the way on tower control ship shape. So the counter pick was the correct call right there, but now we'll come up with the names later time to pick a mode here.
And I think more so than the map mode counter pick, it was the adjustment in the comp that may have done it for I'm Cold. They went ahead and did away with the tent for now. The tent was really having a lot of difficulty with the S-Blast on the other team and said, you know what, screw it. If you can't beat them, join them. And brought out an S-Blast of their own, and I think that really was a key difference maker.
Yeah, for sure. When you go from Tenebrella that is struggling against an S-Blast, they literally just had a response of like, oh, if you can do it, I can do it better, which was demonstrated. I believe it was Chamomile switching off the Tenebrella into the S-Blast right there and getting so many crucial picks that I didn't think they would be able to survive. But, you know, S-Blast has a way. As Lobstar would put it, when there's there's a blaster with a burst bomb, there's always a way to win a match.
You know, those are some wise words. You know, when in doubt, just do a whole bunch of chip damage that can, you know, and potentially one-shot them at the same time.
It's disgusting if you look at the X-Rank leaderboards, DRF. Have you seen them? It's just all S-Blast for every single mode. The top player. Melon is struggling out there. Very top with Ladder Shot Pro. Man. Regardless, it comes down to the players, right? A gun can be as overpowered as it, or overtuned as it is, but what good is it in the wrong hands? And oh my goodness. Splatzone's Mako Mart with S-Blast. I'm scared.
Well, I mean, the question is the S-Blast going to be stick around for both teams? I'm inclined to say yes, because we are sort of in the age of S-Blast, where it's really become a key part of a number of people's compositions. But, you know, of course, with Splat Zones, you have to think about, you know, the inking power and stuff like that. But there are a number of ledges that the S-Blast can really reach over and chip. So I think it'll stick around. It's going to be interesting to see how the teams build their composition around it. You know, Pencil for sure does a great job of inking, and I think, you know, kind of makes up for the lack of ink that blasters just typically lack. But, you know, we saw splashes on, you know, either side. The rollers will probably be sticking around as well. So, you know, this is going to be a very dangerous game to be near a ledge. We'll just put it like that.
A dangerous game where where you don't want to stand around ledges right there. You know what? That's going in my philosophy book right there. I'll see you in class, I guess, when you go into Mako Mart against a roller and an S-Blast. And here we go, locked and loaded. Both these teams are not going to waste any of our times. They just want to play the video game, which already we see some crucial changes right here. Double shooter to support the S-Blast, and then we see Neo Splash sticking around, and as well as this leader.
Yeah, it's there's no roller though on the side of I'm Cold. They are going to be bringing out the shot and the splash. So a couple of interesting adjustments there, as well as these two teams quick to clash in mid. It's going to be, we'll come with the name later, that grabs first possession of the zone, but a couple specials should be online for them as well. And they should be able to get in a really good position here, because I do not think a member of Will Come Up With a Name Later has gone down quite yet.
Yeah, for sure. I do see Astral right there trying to watch his right flank right here, which already has Mocha. I believe just trying to avoid this wave breaker right here and trying to come out on top, but unfortunately gets picked out right here. A Booyah Bomb gets invested onto zone while strikes are traded out right here. This is not quite enough to cap. You need to get probably a little bit more space right there. They do want a face full of roller from the heavens, dear.
I am surprised that the roller managed to land that one. It should have been all of the blasters to gain, but nonetheless, Will Come With a Name Later now taking advantage. They may just be able to set themselves back up once again as the roller finds another pick inside the bubble. And Neptune, it was exactly what you had been talking about. The bubble roller combo just so dangerous. You can't even approach, double the radius of that bubble without, risk of just getting completely shut down. The roller is on a spree.
Oh my goodness, this roller has ran away with so much, committed war crimes, been able to just set up in positions that just deny I Am Cold to be able to get back in here. And it's essentially a lockout game right now, because the leader is also set up, putting a lot of pressure, as well as the S-Blast being able to be a nuisance here. It's just the splash right now. They have Crab, but if you click the Crab, you're not going to be able to make the zone right now. 10 more ticks remaining. A bubble comes up right here, stopping any momentum that I'm Cold is able to get, and just wow, what a game, dear.
What a masterclass that was from Will Come With a Name Later, and especially the roller able to just shut everything down and put a lock on the zone. You shall not enter, and dare put your ink on my zone.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks from watching UCSD Gold play, because normally they have that charger combo, the one-shot charger with a roller combo. Normally it's leader and carbon, but it seems like Will Come With the Name Later found a way to make a leader and V-roller work as well, and they just kind of set up their roller to be able to continuously get picks and basically become unanswerable as they are able to walk into the spawn and keep splatting the members of I'm Cold right there. UCSD's legacy lives on somewhere or another.
Well, in a way, I'm glad that you mentioned it, because two comments here. One, Will Come With the Name Later, it's now later, so I feel like, top 3 is a great team name. They definitely, should be looking at, potential low ink champions as a team name as well. And then the second comment I was gonna make, I'm glad that you brought up UCSD, because we've seen a number of collegiate teams so far. So Reef Runners, RIT, Orange Ocean, and the Bull Sharks were all kind of in